Hello everyone, welcome to the Touchdown Table. This is our first ever video. This is going to be our intro video. My name is Ryan, this is Tyler, that's Jordan. We created this channel just because we are really passionate about football and we want something to do in the off season because we're going to have a hard time waiting till August for football. So what we're going to do here in this first video, just kind of give you guys a feel for what content you could expect to see on this channel. So we're going to discuss three things so you could just kind of get a feel for what to expect on our video. So we're going to start with Rookie of the Year predictions. We're going to do offensive, and then we'll all do defensive. So we'll start here. We'll go this way. Tyler, do you want to start with your offensive Rookie of the Year prediction?
All right. I'm going to go with kind of the obvious pick here. I'm going to go with the first overall pick for the Arizona Cardinals. I know you guys have your thoughts on Kyler Murray, and I used to have doubts for Kyler Murray, but I've watched a lot of film. He's a Lamar Jackson type of runner. He has that type of athleticism. He definitely has a better arm than Lamar Jackson. I know we saw more of Lamar Jackson in college than we did Kyler Murray, but what we've seen from Kyler Murray in college, I feel like will really translate well to the Arizona Cardinals with Cliff Kingsbury's air raid offense, and he will be able to produce big, even though he is on a team that did not do very well last year. But if you think about it the same way, last year, the Cleveland Browns were a terrible team last year, 0-16, and Baker Mayfield was second for Rookie of the Year, so I believe Kyler Murray will win it, in my opinion.
All right, I'm going to stick with the quarterback position, but I'm going to go with the guy who I think was the best quarterback in this past draft. Dwayne Haskins of the Washington Redskins will be the offensive Rookie of the Year this year. As I said, I think he was the best QB in this draft. I think I like how he's built. He's 6'3", about 230 pounds. I think he has a better build to last long in the NFL than Kyler Murray, and I just think he got drafted into a good situation. I think he's got a great chance to start week one, and I feel like if he plays well, that Redskins team is really going to have a shot to be good because they were 6-3 before the game where Alex Smith went down. So I feel like if he plays good, which I think he will, he'll have a really good chance to make great things happen on that team as soon as this year. And I just really liked him coming out of college. You know, he had a 70% completion percent in this past year. That's incredible. And then also third in Heisman voting in 2018. So I just really like this guy coming out of college. He impressed me on tape. He can make every throw you need him to make. I got Dwayne Haskins for my offensive Rookie of the Year. Jordan, how about you?
Well, I'll tell you what, I agree with one of these men, and that man is Ryan.
Yeah, let's go.
Now, he has explained a lot of what I wanted to say. Now, the only issue that I have talking about Dwayne Haskins, I meant to say it like that. Okay. The only issue I have with him is we don't know if he's going to start. Now, I do think he should start. There's obviously the situation with Case Keenum there, and then who's the other guy they got?
Colt McCoy.
So there's obviously that issue with those three having a fun quarterback battle that will do to be a good one coming up soon, especially with training and all that stuff starting up. But I think that Dwayne Haskins, for everything that you said and more, he's just a good quarterback, and I believe that he's going to lead a team that's been struggling to have a much better season. And I'm not saying the Redskins are going to be great, but I'm saying he's going to be pretty great.
And I just have a question to ask you guys. You were talking about how Haskins might not start week one. What do you guys think the chances are that he starts percentage-wise?
I'll say 60.
I was gonna say around 65-70. I think if he impresses in camp, I think he'll get it done. So I'm gonna say 70%. I like the odds.
Yeah, and he's impressed so far, so if he can keep that up, I would agree with you. I'd say around 60 to 70% chance. All right, let's get into the defensive Rookie of the Year predictions here. This is pretty easy for me. I'm just really high on this guy. Linebacker from LSU, Devin White, to the Buccaneers. I just think he has so much potential. He's probably the fastest linebacker coming out of this draft. He's by far, in my opinion, the best linebacker out of this draft and one of the best defensive players out of this draft. I know you have your Nick Bosas and your Quinn Williams, but I feel like this guy is just really going to make an impact for the Buccaneers. And Bruce Arians to help that team out to an extreme and just show what he's made of. So I'm going with Devin White.
All right, and before I go, I have a question for you. Are you counting Josh Allen as a linebacker when you make that statement or no?
I'm going to count Josh Allen as a defensive end when I make that
Okay.
statement.
What was he drafted as?
I don't know what.
I think he was drafted as a defensive end.
I've seen him in both positions, but I think he
Yes.
is technically officially defensive end. So just wanted to clear that up. So I'm going to go with the first defensive player drafted. I'm going to go with Nick Bosa, and I know this is kind of like not too like out there, like it's kind of like first guy drafted, but really I think he was the best defensive player in this draft, and for that reason he was the first defensive player in this draft. I mean, I know people are going to be concerned because he had that injury and he left college early, but I think he's going to be well rested. I think that he's going to transition to the NFL game really well, and he's going to give those other NFC West quarterbacks a lot of nightmares. And really, I just liked him on tape. I think he is great. He's big. He's physical. He could do everything you need him to do on the defensive line, and I think he's just the best overall player. I mean, I don't really need to overanalyze it. That's just how I feel, and I think he's going to prove that on the gridiron this fall. Jordan, how about you?
Well, I'll tell you what, I almost agreed there with Tyler, but I thought about it, and I think that Josh Allen is actually having a good shot at being the best, the defensive rookie of the year for this year. Now, the reason that I say that and the reason that I strayed away from Devin White, because Devin White is on a team that is not as good as the Jaguars, the team that Josh Allen is on. Their defense has been pretty solid. Of course, last year it looked a lot worse than it did the year before. But I feel like the defense around him is going to help him become much more of a better player. It's also going to make him not get as much attention, and therefore he's going to get a lot better stats, and there's going to be a lot more attention. And for that reason, I think that he will be able to win the Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, and I wouldn't sleep on the Jaguars or the Buccaneers. I think that both teams have made enough changes in their organization to have a turnaround this year. So
Who's a Buccaneers quarterback?
Jameis Winston, but you never know what Bruce Arians is going to be able to do with them.
Yeah, I think they kind of brought in Bruce Arians trying to save Jameis Winston because his career has not started as planned. They haven't made the playoffs in his tenure.
And I don't think the Buccaneers organization is really loving Dwayne Haskins. I don't think they're loving him at this moment right now. So we'll see how that goes as well.
He certainly got a lot to prove. So now we're going to transition into our MVP prediction. Tyler, who you got?
It's a tough one here. I'm looking at the odds right now. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is the favorite to win it. I'm going to have to say Andrew Luck for this one. I feel like the Colts are just a team. I'm sorry. I know Texans.
Yeah, I'm a Texans fan, by the way, so I don't like to hear that.
But I just feel like the Colts are in such a good position to win right now. And they have so much more cap space that they didn't use this offseason. So I feel like they're going to be set for a long time. We saw Andrew Luck come back from his injury last year when comeback player of the year, I believe. I believe he's going to add to that this year. More time. He's got a new rookie receiver, Paris Campbell, who's one of my favorite wide receivers out of the draft. I just feel like we're going to see big things from Andrew Luck in the Colts offense this year.
All right, well, I hope you're wrong. But I'm going to stick with the quarterback position. I'm going to go with Drew Brees, the quarterback for the Saints. For a while last year, it looked like he might be in the running, but then Patrick Mahomes kind of pulled away in the lead in the latter weeks of the season. But, I mean, just looking at his stats here, I mean, his completion percentage has gone up every year since 2015. He threw almost 4,000 yards last year, 32 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions, 115.7 QB rating. So the stats are good, but I really think it's just more than the stats. He's just a leader on and off the field. He's always been good with that offense, a veteran. He's seen it all. And another thing is, I just think he makes the players around him so much better, and that's why where the term valuable comes into the term MVP, because he throws a touchdown pass, and it's, caught by, and it's, someone you've never heard before. And it's just, I just think his ability to make his team better and make his offense kind of be one of the best in the NFL is going to win him the MVP this year.
I'd just like to say right there that I had this argument with him a while ago. He thought Patrick Mahomes last year was going to be MVP. I thought Drew Brees. And for the value thing, you kind of just restated what my point was and how you were defending that before, but we're not going to get into that right now.
Well, that was – this is for this upcoming year. That was for last year. This is separate.
You were explaining how he was valuable last year and how he's going to do the same thing this year, but it's okay. Now, I'm sorry, you guys, but I do not have I was thinking I cannot come up with a pick here. I like both of these picks. I do think it's going to be a quarterback, however, and I am sorry about that. I need to do a little bit more research on this stuff. I know I look like a loser compared to these two who know all this stuff about film and everything, but I'm trying my best.
All right, well, I would just say, I just want to point this out right now. I feel like the MVP has become a quarterback award.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at
sure.
the Vegas top things, like I said before, and they're all quarterbacks. I think the first one besides that, which is not on here, but I believe this is just from memory, is Saquon Barkley, who was it's a low chance for even him to win it. He's the first guy that's not a quarterback. What's the next topic?
The only reason he could win is because he has so much value to his team, because he's basically his whole team at this point, the whole offense at this point. The receivers are all gone except for Sterling Shepard, of course. They got the good tight end and Evan Ingram, but that offense is looking bad. We'll see what happens with Daniel Jones as well.
All right. So a lot of interesting stuff going on there. Our final topic for today's video is going to be top games to watch in 2019. We can just say one, and if we see one we like, we can maybe go around again if we see another one we like. So we're going to see, there's a lot of good ones, a lot of good matchups, revenge matchups, playoff rematches. It's all there. So let's start. Tyler, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, what's your big game to watch this year?
I'm going to start with week 1. This might be biased. You might be able to see my shirt or not. I'm sure if you
Yeah.
can see it. But I feel like this was just the perfect way for the NFL to start their 100th season off. Bears and Packers, one of the best rivalries in the history of the NFL. I believe that's going to be a close game. The Bears last year obviously showed what they were able to do. And the Packers this year seem like they're going to be back. They have Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback, so you can't count them out. I don't know why this is making that noise. I'm sorry.
Okay. So that's going to be a good one. But a game that I really think is going to be fun to watch, and I don't know why this is not at primetime. It's October 13th at 12. This was probably the biggest game that was snubbed of a primetime slot, in my opinion. The Houston Texans at the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, it's a 12
And
o'clock.
by the way, the Texans are his favorite team.
Yeah.
So a little bit of bias going into both these picks, by the way.
It's not
I'm
biased.
letting you talk.
Okay.
Keep going.
Well, it's not really biased.
I'm saying it's the best matchup of the year. I'm just saying that.
I said it's the biggest primetime snub of the year.
Well, you're also choosing it as the best matchup of the year.
I know. So let me explain that.
That's
So you
what
look
I
at
said.
these two teams that are fresh off of playoff berth and division titles, and you really look, it just kind of goes back to Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, you look at Deshaun Watson,
Same class, by the way. Same quarterback class.
yes, same quarterback class. Many expected Deshaun Watson to go over Patrick Mahomes, but Mahomes was taken at 10th by the Chiefs, and Deshaun Watson was taken at 12th by the Texans. So I just really think it's going to be cool to see these guys go at it for the first time. I mean, I think they're both going to have very long, successful careers in the NFL and both end up winning Super Bowls. And really another storyline besides that is Tyrann Mathieu, the safety who signed with the Chiefs, although many expected he would be able to return to the Texans. That'll be cool to see him go against his former team. And I really think that, back to the Mahomes-Watson thing, I really think that Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson could be the next, like, Brady Manning-like rivalry in the AFC. So this is going to be a good one. Watch it if you can.
Mm-hmm. And I got this one I really like. Now, we saw this matchup in the regular season and, of course, in the postseason, and that is Rams and Saints. Now, this is a matchup that last year was just great to watch in both games, and especially the NFC championship game. Between, obviously, if you know anything about football, you know what happened in that game, the no call on pass interference that eventually sent the Rams to the Super Bowl. So this matchup is going to be a lot of revenge. In both matchups, both teams have both fought really hard, and it was just really close games. And I believe this is in week 2 of the season, so it's going to be coming early.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a fun game to watch, and I think everyone's going to really just be excited for that game.
Just to mention a couple other ones, I was thinking about the Patriots and the Chiefs are playing again. I'm not sure what week that is. The Packers and the Chiefs is another one I thought about. That one's in week 8. You guys got any other ones that you thought were pretty close to being top games?
Well,
That was my
Chiefs
number one.
Patriots play week 14.
Yeah, that'll be good. There'll be some playoff implications there.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure. All right, I believe that was our last topic for today.
I believe it was. So hope you guys.
Also, I got
We're not
one
done
more.
yet. He's got one more.
I got Redskins Vikings, of course. Case Keenum playing his old team.
So
That's a
you
fun one,
you
too.
think he'll be starting that game?
Yeah.
We'll be against that team. That is week. It doesn't say week on here actually. I click on the article. That was a weird sound.
Okay.
Keep talking. I'll give it to you in a second here.
All right, so I think while he's trying to find that, this is going to be the conclusion to our first video. I hope you guys enjoy. We have plenty more topics to talk about. We're going to get into week 8. It is. We're going to get into more news and stuff later on as this channel goes along. Keep you guys updated on things. Talk about what we think about what news is happening. But for right now, we're just talking about questions. A little speculation to start this off. So thank you guys for watching this video. Do you guys have anything else you want to say before we leave?
Just you kind of hit it on the head. Just thank you guys for watching. Appreciate the views and the support. Many more good videos to come.